Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by A.G. Heinz Company. 4 generations of one family running one local business, a business that has been serving East Tennesseans for more than 100 years. If you have a do-it-yourself project that you're starting, a home repair, an upgrade, start it with a trip to A.G. Heinz Company for the best building materials in all of East Tennessee. They've got tools, everything you could possibly need. They've got, 100 years of experience to explain everything you need and how to use it. And their people are fantastic. I dealt with them again this week. They're just a delight to work with. It's a great company. It's easy to see why they've been around since 1920. agheinz.com to learn more. Okay, let's welcome in the next wave of panelists. We have right there Bob Hodge. We have Josh Ward right here. Kevin Simon still with us. Marlon Walls right there. Marlon, I will start with you. Each week we do a couple of questions here. And if we don't have one for one of these, that's fine. But best player on the field last night?
All right, so I think the obvious one is on the defensive side of the ball, so I'm going to stay away from that one. I would say it was between 2 guys. I looked at Cooper Mays coming back, but then also Dylan Sampson. We talked about Sampson a lot last week. I'm going to go with Sampson, and here's the reason why. I think towards the end of the game, he kind of helped us put it away. He's got a little wiggle to him. Yeah. If you hand the ball off to him, he can make a couple guys miss, get you a first down. And so I would say last night having a little bit more of addition of him, it kind of opened it up for Jalen Wright. I would say Dylan Sampson is the best player on the field last night.
We talked about it last week. We put up the numbers, and I'll just stretch them out for you. Here's what he did last night. 11 touches, 91 more yards, 8 yards per touch, and another touchdown.
And receiving.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had 9 carries and 2 catches, 11 touches. Just find the ways to get in the ball. The shovel pass, exactly what we talked about last week. Best player on the field. We got Dylan Sampson.
I was going to go Dylan Sampson, too. I thought maybe I might be the only one because there were so many other guys that played well. I would go with Cooper Mays as the most important guy on the field. Maybe not the best, but Dylan Sampson just continues. I mean, you got him, 14 touches last week, I think it was, 11. Combine those 2 numbers because I think he's absolutely electric. And Small's a good back. Wright's a good back.
Wright's very good.
But I just think Sampson could be that next level guy.
Wright, Jalen Wright had 16 carries, 123 yards, averaged 7.7 yards per carry. He's been good all year long. Josh, best player on the field.
I'm going to go to the defensive side. I'm nervous that I might get it wrong because Marlon said it's obvious, but I'm going to say James Pierce on the edge, 27. They didn't know what to do with him. They had no idea where he was going, and he was so disruptive. He's so athletic. He has so much room to grow, too, as a player. But he is a guy that makes things happen. Similar to Sampson, when he goes out there on the defensive side of the field, he is disruptive.
Let me ask you, I'm going to throw you a curveball here, Kevin. For those that don't know, you were a scout with the Dallas Cowboys. Were you a scout with other?
Yeah, so Cowboys for 8 years and Atlanta Falcons for 2.
That's right. Not to bring up that you were with the Falcons. I'm trying to think of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
It was 2016 in your Patriots.
I was on the field.
By 25, they got us.
Nice of you to not bring it up.
Here's the.
It's still.
It was a joke. It was a joke. The NFL scout. Who's the best player on the field in terms of just if you're out there saying, all right, here are the guys we're putting on the draft board. Who do you see from Tennessee specifically that stands out to you?
So really, I'm looking at Joe just because his ability to throw the football, we would find ways to get him protected. Obviously, he's going to have to learn a little bit coming from this offense. But he's actually played in a pro-style system playing for Jim Harbaugh. So taking snaps from under center, turning his back to the defense, coming back, locating the receiver. His arm's so strong, and he's showing that he can make tight window throws. Like every week, his misses are less and less. And it's hard. There's not 32 quality quarterbacks going around the NFL.
Yeah.
He's a guy that from my perspective, we would give every shot to see if he could do it for us, whether I'm the New York Jets, whether I'm the Washington Commanders, or whoever I was with. So, to me, he's the most talented guy on the field. So it's good, from my perspective, to see him put it together kind of week after week.
There you go. That's why I asked, because I didn't know you'd come back with quarterback, but I think that explains, last year we were sitting here wondering, how does Anthony Richardson go that high? Talent. We're just looking at potential talent, that's it. So, All right, very good. Worst coaching move? I'll let you do your own thing here.
Yeah, so I think a lot of times when it's 3rd and 17 and you're sitting at home and you're like, oh my God, why are they running the football? Well, there's a good example last night from South Carolina showing the reason why you run the football in that situation. So it's the end of the second half, 3rd and 17. Dow Loggins elects to throw it. Kamal Hadden picks it off, and it's a pick 6. So when you're backed up on your 20-yard line, there's just not a whole lot of good things that can happen, especially when you're really just trying to get out of the half.
Yeah.
So run the draw, throw the screen, run the zone up the middle, and then live to play another down instead of throwing the ball in harm's way to be taken back by your main man, Kamal Hadden.
and yeah, I had it written here. I wanted to mention 2 guys. Again, when we pick on you, when you don't do well, I want to be fair. Kamal Hadden with the pick 6, and again, there weren't a lot of Gamecock receivers running free out there. And also Jackson Ross. You go back to the first week, and we were all looking at that rugby-style kicking. He had a nice night last night. He seems to be getting better and more comfortable every week. Any other bad coaching moves you might see?
Yeah, I think so. I think Beamer did nothing to help Rattler in that game. He kept dropping him back into the pocket. There was no pocket to drop back into. 6 sacks, a ton of hurries. And I just thought Beamer just kept doing the same thing. After halftime, I thought they're going to change this offense a little bit. They've got to give him some help. I'm just not impressed by that guy as a coach. Yeah, they beat Tennessee's butt last year. But I just thought the whole night their offense just looked like it was shaky. Not just running plays, but even getting plays coming into the game.
Okay, let me throw something else out here because we've got to be quick here. This is the worst day in the world to go over. But into the game, last year, Beamer stuck it to Tennessee a little bit. Last night, Heupel calls a timeout. Now, he did it at Florida. He took the timeout saying, I was trying to get the ball, but we wanted to score, get the ball back. Last night, he had the ball. He had the ball. He just took a little timeout. It was shades of the Urban Meyer deal against Georgia where he said, we'll let you out of the stadium when we want to let you out of the stadium, was the way it came across. And then that was a pretty quick little handshake. Is there bad blood there between Heupel and Beamer, do we think?
Go ahead, Josh. I'm going to let you.
I think there's respect for each other as coaches, but yes, I think there's bad blood from the last couple of years, how things have gone.
Beamer's got a personality. He's going to drop little snippets to here and there just to kind of go back at Tennessee and kind of that's his personality. And so I think Heupel probably got a hold of something. And so it was
he kind of needles like Spurrier without the success of Spurrier.
That's it.
All right. Is this a rivalry now? We asked that last year. They played for 30 years. South Carolina finally upset Tennessee when they had a chance at the playoff. We said, okay, is this a rivalry now because people hate South Carolina? That crowd was into it last night. Spencer Rattler talked about the things that they were chanting at him that weren't very nice. Is this a rivalry?
I think so.
Yeah.
The way the stadium was, being in there last night, just the atmosphere, you don't get up for just anybody like that.
That was dark mode. That's dark mode, Bob. All right.
Please, can we talk about something else?
All right, when we come back, former ball lineman Mike Stoll going to discuss the return of Cooper Mays, and we'll see what 3 other VFLs have to say about the offensive line. Come on back on the Sports Source.